You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Graceland After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Graceland After Show.
Aw, yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not even 100% sure how to dance to this.
I think
feel
you're
the
doing
music,
great.
feel your
I
body
think that's
to it.
perfect.
I think you just like trip and just, I don't know.
Welcome to Graceland After Show. Bing is for doing. We're doing another After Show episode of Part 1, season finale of Graceland. Episode 11, Happy Ending. And I don't think it was, guys. I'm Julie Partin, and we are in the house with our favorite special guest and cast member, Brandon Jay McLaren.
What's up, everybody? Hey, guys.
Who you guys know as DJ or Jakes.
The guy who labels his orange juice.
Right. I'm Stephanie Giorgi. Hello, everybody.
And I'm Stephen Lemieux, and we're going to rock this episode down.
Seriously, I'll tell you, the first thing that happened was a million billion people spoiling it on Twitter, text message, everything. People were really excited about tonight's episode, and the East Coasters just got all the buzz, so I had to turn my phone off.
No. There you go.
No, I was saying I had to turn my phone off because it was being spoiled by everybody.
Oh, yeah, I know. I hate getting the text from the East Coasters.
I know.
And getting the tweets like, oh my God, like with Briggs, when we found out Briggs was Odin, I saw like a little bit and I was like,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
looking, no, done, turn it off.
I
That's
will
all.
say that I thought things were going to get crazier than they did tonight.
Yeah.
They did get very intricate as far as the relationships were concerned and the plots, but there was really only one scene that sort of blew me away. I guess I thought there would be like more gore.
That's because the next episode is going to be nuts. So
I
they're just
know.
setting us up for it.
And it really seemed that way because I thought when I'm like a 2-part finale, oh man, it's going to blow our mind twice. But it really seems like they're going to just really blow our mind next week because a lot of the story development and all of the writing thus far has been very, very well placed to provide the big payoff. And they haven't really had an episode that was just one episode dedicated completely to setup. And I mean, people can argue that this episode had kind of the payoff of Briggs, like, I'm out, grabbing his bag and heading out. I think that that's going to lead to a lot more because as we see that Briggs is still on the outside and he's still kind of paying attention to what's going in Graceland, I think we're going to get a lot more darker next episode. Mm-hmm. And I'm really looking forward to what happens in overall Graceland because we know the estate burned down. And
Right.
that was the end of... I guess the estate didn't get renewed for season 2.
yeah, the pilot didn't get picked up on the estate. They just were like, no.
Graceland's the second try.
Yeah.
They're like, there's just no chemistry between this Briggs character and
Burn
this
it.
Lisa character.
Yeah.
Well, we start out the episode and we see that paranoia is high and for a good reason. Briggs can't sleep. He's trying to sneak out of the house at 2:30 a.m. Mike sleeping on the couch in order to catch him.
Not
Right.
sleeping.
He was awake.
Right.
He was
has
awake.
got
Waiting
his
for
eye.
it.
And he puts on that tired face as soon as he sees Briggs because you see him wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
He
Briggs
gets up,
knows
he
he's
does this,
there, he
like-
goes,
Yeah, you know that.
you ever have that feeling in the morning with bruised ribs? Oh, I don't know about that yet, do I?
But they're both totally lying to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just can't sleep. Oh, me neither. Why do you have a jacket on? Oh, I'm cold.
And he said-
lied.
He
They
said-
both know they're
He
lying.
said I must have fell asleep with the TV on. And Briggs like, the TV's on. Pretty much he's like, yeah, F you.
And so then what happened is one of the most surprising things to me this whole entire season. Briggs pulls in his backup, Jakes. I did not know those two were secret allies like that.
Well, not that we were supposed to. It didn't surprise me, but because I feel like out of everybody you would be because you're just like the hard dog kind of the character on the show. But I did for a second think that why would he tell anybody? Because you'd be forced. You know, the whole everyone's secrets are their burdens. But no.
You know, it kind of makes sense though. If you look at each character, Mike has his cards kind of on the table. He had the whole Abby thing. Paige has her cards on the table. She dates around. She's kind of flirtatious, but Jake's is the one who looks at it as this is the job. And that's his excuse for not having to open up. So that's how he keeps his secrets, because nobody really thinks he has secrets. He's just that closed off guy. Briggs is the guy at the head, so of course they don't want to know his secrets. Then they're just like, okay, that's Briggs. But you're the only two people who can keep your secrets without everyone keep asking you.
Right.
And we also find out that they've known each other the longest when he says,
Well,
his character says,
he wakes him up in the worst way possible in the history of humanity. Basically smothering him.
Yes. Hand on the mouth.
I know, right?
Don't do that. Don't do that to your husband.
Honey, you owe me a favor.
Have you ever just like stopped someone talking, just
Yeah.
it's the worst
This
thing.
is for drinking out of the Brita.
Yeah.
And so Jake's grumpy as usual.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Yes, but he's that grumpy all the time. Why are you waking me up? There better be ninjas attacking the house.
That was
That's
so-
the
that
only
was
reason
perfect.
that I would accept it.
I had to tell you before the morning.
Yeah, no, because
Why?
You can text.
But he says, I'm calling in that favor you owe me.
Mm.
Did you guys know what the favor was? Because I couldn't recall.
We don't know.
No?
No one knows.
Do you know?
I may know.
Oh, okay.
I think that's got to be something going. That was the first clue that they knew each other longer. And then the second clue is when, wait a second, he tells Briggs about Cassidy. No one in the house knows really about Cassidy. And then I'm assuming that Briggs knows about your son. Again, Briggs knows more about you than anyone else in this house.
Well, Jake's has probably done some twisted things that we don't know about yet.
It's funny, that scene with us was the first time Daniel and I had a scene together. In the
Was
whole
it?
show.
Oh, it's for my
In the whole
questions
show.
later. That's so funny.
By your guys'
Yeah,
selves?
that was the
What?
first time. Yeah, that's the first time our characters really
We gotta
ever
work together.
talked to each other
Yeah.
just one-on-one in the whole show.
That's why it
Which
took me
cracks
by
me more
surprise.
too, because and all of a sudden they're the closest.
Yeah.
But that also makes sense. Again, I just feel like they're both like the seniors. Like you both seem more wiser and older, so it makes sense that you would kind of be homies and like have each other's backs. But that is funny that we didn't ever see that before.
It kind of makes me fearful for the relationship that you and Briggs have, for how far you're going to fall from being his friend in the next episode. For the sole purpose that you know about the estate and you know that it burned down, but what are you going to do when your character finds out that Briggs was the cause of it burning down? And that's really what I kind of want to see happen, is because right now we know you got his back. You know the estate burned down. You know he was a previous part, but you don't even put two and two together that he might have been the cause.
Right.
And you obviously trust him enough to cover up a murder of an FBI agent. You've got some deep
Yeah,
deep
I was
trap going
surprised
on.
by this whole thing. I didn't think that Jakes would do that. He's so focused on his job. It's a job. He takes the job seriously. And then Briggs tells him the exact reason while they're
Yeah,
going on this
that
journey.
kind
And,
of- that-
and he flips out, yes. But he agrees to it.
Well, yeah, I feel like he has his normal reaction, but the simple fact that he agreed to it was kind of like, wait, hold on, what's going on? Because now I can't. Now I don't know. I don't get you now. I don't like that. I officially was like, wait, okay, I was wrong.
It's a big character turn.
Right? It is, but it's cool because this is also the first time we get to see you, do something like more.
It's a needed
Investigative,
character
yeah.
turn.
Yeah, and I think it also speaks to like the history that they must have together. Like,
And you knew about Lisa.
What must have happened in the past for Jakes to cover up a murder of an FBI agent for Briggs?
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
got to be
Some
something
twisted
that
ish.
I'll do I'll go to the end of the earth for you because I owe you that. So
Crap, you
So
guys
it's
are
very
making me
interesting.
second guess myself. Because now I'm like, if he told you that, maybe you do know about Jangles. Maybe you do know a lot more than I would have assumed you guys would have known.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's good because it seemed for so long there that Jakes was tortured inside because he lost his family at his own fault, and that it wasn't going other places. Like, he was so sorrowful that he just couldn't have relationships with the other characters. And so I like that we saw this, even though it came out of left field and totally surprised me.
Yeah.
But that's
was
something
perfect.
that we knew from the very beginning.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Jakes and
Really?
Briggs were like tight, but nobody else knew it. Like,
I love that.
yeah, we knew that
Loves
from the
it.
from before we started shooting the first episode.
Seriously?
That was the plan. Like Jakes and Briggs are like boys, but nobody in the house knows that they're even boys.
And they're just going to pull that out of nowhere
Yeah.
right when it matters most.
Your chemistry in this episode was just there. Like, it's right away, especially after they're talking about it, you kind of just know that they're like that.
There's
he's
like a
looking out.
familiarity there
Yeah.
with one another.
And Briggs never goes to anybody for help, but the time that he needs help, who does he go for or to?
That surprised me for sure.
You're the only character that Briggs let himself get agitated in front of, to really like show himself being really pissed off, really kind
and
of
rattled.
hopeless.
Yeah.
He was like
When he hit the
scared.
car,
You can tell like Briggs was starting to get fearful
Nervous.
for his
And he
situation.
should.
and he was talking to him, and he was talking to
Yeah.
himself in the truck, and you're just chilling next to him. He's like, "Okay, well, I can do this," and he's starting to calculate, and you're like, "Dang, man, what'd you do?"
So something that wasn't surprising, first scene, Paige in a bikini top. No jaws dropped there. But we do see that her and Mike needs to. She's on Mike's side. So this is how it's ending up in the house. They're dividing themselves into little teams, investigating each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we've seen it coming forever, but it's never been more defined in this episode.
Yeah. Well, because Paige has to figure out now if it's true or not. Mike is officially just kind of like, I'm not going to be following Briggs like a little puppy anymore. I'm going to do my own investigation. So I have to. Everyone just has to. Something happened to where it affected them, and now they all have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's so interesting also with this is that there's so many people who know what's going on, but look at Charlie and look at Johnny. If they had any clue of what was going on with the other people, they would be taking this so much differently than they are with Cortez and with all this stuff. Like Charlie would of course jump right on the bandwagon with Mike and Paige, but then I don't know where Johnny would be. Johnny would probably be right there with Briggs. I mean, not Briggs, Jakes and Briggs. Even after that fight, though, you never know.
But Johnny's so pure, right? Like Johnny's so like,
Yeah.
I don't believe Briggs is bad. Like he won't let
Exactly.
himself.
Oh,
Seriously,
no.
when the entire house is scheming, he's making octopus pancakes.
How can he appear so like? How can Briggs for so long have been this character that everyone looks up to? That's great. When at the same time, he single-handedly with every character will pull them away from the light and make them a little bit morally gray. Like with Jakes, this is the first episode we see you guys work together. He's already pulling in to cover up a murder for me. With Mike,
Right.
he's fresh.
But with Jakes, though, Jakes does it willingly.
Well, true.
And
He
I
just kind of
feel
lets him
like-
know.
I feel like it explains why Jakes kind of does his own thing. Because Jakes is just like, I'm not getting involved. Johnny, see no evil, hear no
Hear no
evil.
evil,
Shut up.
right.
Mind your own business. Head down. And now I feel like you see why that's Jake's motto. Because he's like...
You get
people
caught
are-
up into stuff like
everybody's doing their own thing. Shh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get
like
involved.
trust it.
Stop
my
digging.
mom, yeah, my mom. That's
You
that's
know?
exactly what a quote my mother used to always say. Like, be careful, like what you look for, because you'll find it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things with Briggs, and like Briggs again has like this father figure type thing. And I sometimes, as someone who's wiser and older and has had more experience, you're gonna want to make everything seem nicer. Like, yes, Santa Claus is real. I mean, yes, he is. But you know, when you do those certain things, and then now because everyone keeps looking for it, they're gonna find it. If no one had looked, if everyone had just trusted him, everything would probably have
But
gone
at
a
the
little
same
smoother.
time, like, I think Briggs at the end is still good, but he was doing so much damage being Odin. He was creating so many drugs in Southern California. Like drugs, deaths.
Death, murder.
Who knows his ultimate purpose, but it's got to be really good to equal out.
He's
or-
all about the greater good.
Yeah, like all the evil that
Or
he's
is he?
done, I'm
I
just having a
know.
hard time figuring out how they will equal out and Briggs will still be good.
What's interesting though is like Mike has totally pulled Paige in on his investigation.
Yeah, completely. And Paige is like 100 with him on it.
Yeah, Paige, from being, so mean in the hospital that one time to now, she's fully in on it and she's fully on Mike's side.
Paige is cool. I don't care what you say.
Okay, we
I'm
can't we
not-
can't say anything against Paige because the YouTubers will jump on us.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm not Paige hating. I'm not. Honestly, this was really funny what she did this episode. So she puts the tracker on, and Briggs brilliantly and
Just kinda peeks
deceptively,
it out, yeah.
mind if we take your ride? And of course, Jakes doesn't. So they find out separately through different avenues. Paige and Mike go through the official FBI system, and they find out that the car that is missing with Juan Badillo's recording in it has been taken by this one gang. Separately,
Mongrels.
the Mongrels?
Yeah.
That's a funny gang name. Sounds like a grandpa
Jungle
named
Book.
them. Those mongrels.
Oh,
And then Briggs and Jakes find out through word on the street, right?
Well, they just know because Briggs knows the area where the car was in,
Okay.
so they know that the gangs have their bases.
territory.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
then
their
we
territory.
find the glass
Exactly.
of the car. and
So he's
I'm
like, well, how long did you say the car was here for? They probably it got
probably
jacked.
the mongoose.
The one thing that I was kind of skeptical though is like, look at this glass. It's obviously a glass from this type of car. I mean, can you really tell that from a front
Well, I
window?
think
A Crown
Briggs
Vic, was it?
remembered where it was parked,
Oh, well,
and
no,
there was
'cause-
a parking space missing, and there was broken glass. I think that's how.
Calculations.
It was supposed
Steve.
to be
He's,
anyway.
he's supposed to investigate.
I don't know. Maybe that's a common cop car or something, and so
Yeah.
Oh, it is a common
agents
cop car,
agents know to look for that specific glass. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Jake's is brilliant.
He's basically CSI.
Basically.
So you got cast as the new Sherlock Holmes?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. That's
That
the
would
two
be
spoiler.
so awesome.
How did you know?
But we all know from this moment, those two teams are looking for the same car, same guy. They're going to meet up somewhere along the lines. And we find out that Paige and Mike are going to track this guy down, and Paige is going to use a fake baby bump
Oh yeah.
to approach his mom.
She looks like good old white trash.
She did a great job pulling off that your son got me pregnant look.
What are you gonna do now?
With the heels and a cardigan showing her midriff.
And the-
Wonderful.
and the high
right, and her high, like,
ponytail.
ratty ponytail.
Huge hoops.
Yeah.
Sorry if there's anybody out there who we're describing exactly.
No, to the T.
All she needed was gum.
I like them. They look good on you.
All she needed was gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me preggers? Where's he at?
Yeah.
They approach the church lady. They find out where the guy is, and he's at a donut shop. He uses his donut shop to eat donuts and at the front for his drug circulation. And at the same time, Briggs and Jake's headed
Yep,
that
we're
way.
all there. So they figure it out together, and then bam. I love that he said, because Briggs mentioned, okay, if I need you, or he said, scream, and he's like, I'll text you. Text him to come in. He's like, yeah, this is a badass. And then Mike walks in. That was so perfect, and we all saw that. We're like, they're gonna meet at the donut shop.
I didn't know Mike was going to walk in instead, though.
Oh, I did.
as
Of course.
soon as they
as
were-
soon as he saw the
Really?
text say come
Yeah.
into him, I was like,
When he saw
yep.
the phone, you were like, okay,
On his
Mike's
way.
gonna walk in.
I didn't know. I thought they'd go in together or something. Or, but what was funny? What's funny is we got like a little tiny taste of my favorite Jamaican Jakes. I really want that guy around more.
When was that?
The birds.
The-
Oh yeah, the birds are over.
Yeah, he doesn't do the Jamaican. It's just Briggs.
What other things can Jamaicans import and export illegally? Because I love that accent.
I can say one thing.
I love Jamaican beef patties.
Yeah, but those aren't illegal.
Yeah, illegally.
All right, Brandon, you have to use your Jamaican accent for the rest of the after show.
No. I'll just
He's like,
politely decline.
he's like, only if you guys do.
Yeah.
And everybody who's listening to the podcast is like, for the love of God, thankfully he said no. But so he takes in the parrot. Big exchange. Mike almost blows the cover. They collided.
They collided.
So then they get asked to do a job, and Mike has to do the job with Briggs.
Did anyone like the random background comedy that it's four cops going to a donut shop?
Oh, I didn't even catch it.
Because we don't focus on that,
Yeah.
Steven.
Sorry,
I
it's
didn't
just.
catch that either.
All right, whatever.
Oh no, I think I was too busy thinking about how much I want a donut.
Yeah, right? I looked at the pink ones. I was like, damn, those look good.
Actually, I got a chocolate chip cookie right here. Can I eat it? No, seriously, I do.
Go for it. You're good.
You gotta
Water
I
share.
can have a cookie.
He's got a cookie in
For
his
later.
cargo pants.
It's for later.
So this officially sets off the chase between the two teams. Like this puts them against each other now that they're working together. Like as much as they can be really working together with being against each other. So it's Jake's. It's the sting basically. They're gonna do the bust. They're gonna rob this place, and it's Jake's is in the pit basically with Paige.
Mike
And
Mike
Jake's
goes
and Paige-
hard in this episode.
Jakes and Paige realize you're with him, you're with him.
And you know, you
what
both
has
know.
happened here?
Because like when you say it's like this is what happens when I get
Yeah.
involved. Like this.
Just craziness. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it seems like you guys don't really have ill will towards each other. It's more just who you've, I don't know.
Who we've decided to ally with.
Yeah.
I think
For
there was a
whatever
little
reason
bit of
it
ill
is.
will.
At the end, I think. When I realized that they set up Briggs, I think I was like,
Yeah, because it's like, come on.
and they outsmarted us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right?
that's a little
They
bit.
got the best
That's
of
an
us.
ego. Yeah.
And Paige, who really thought the house was a very pure thing,
Mm-hmm.
is realizing that more and more people are keeping secrets from her.
And she's keeping secrets from us, too.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody's kind of, you know.
Well, that's the thing though too. That's why, and I'm sure that like if I was Jake's, I would be upset too, just because I would think, look, I understand that if you think we're doing something wrong, but if you do, come talk to us. Don't go to mom and dad about it. You know, with government, I'm speaking in whatever terms. and no, I'm an American.
It's just like
words.
everyone, like Johnny is just so naive because he believes that this whole process of Graceland can just work perfectly, but it's just it really doesn't when you get into all these different facets of everyone having to cover their own ass, because there is so many things that can just, like for instance, Briggs shooting Jangles and killing Jangles. You know, I'm doing air quotes for those of you who are listening because it wasn't really Jangles. If you look at that from a perspective of Briggs and from a viewer's perspective, you're like, he didn't do anything wrong. You're like, he killed a guy who came at him and threatened him with a gun. He didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that he has to cover this because of the government and because of his job, and it won't be looked at that way, and HR is only there to fire you.
And everything, yeah.
So it's kind of sad because we all wish we could be like Johnny, but we all have to go and be like Briggs.
That's why there's no secrets in Graceland, but everyone just like shot that.
Honestly,
to
I feel like
double
the
hockey sticks.
system, the organic family could work if Briggs hadn't started this huge cycle of lying.
You see, but I feel like sometimes that's the necessary evil again when you
That's
just
the
keep
first
something.
lie. Then Mike comes in. That's the second lie. Then everybody gets involved after that. If they would have just all been honest with each other from the beginning and not engaged in illegal drug activity, it could have been beautiful.
And
Or if maybe you lived at the house and you said, "Come on, guys, let's get together."
I mean, you know what though? Like it
I was
started
the
off,
Johnny.
if you remember in the pilot, when Briggs shot the guy without seeing the gun. The lie started from the beginning, and Mike was implicit on it. He was like, "Did you see the gun?"
But he did save him.
He did, but he didn't tell on him.
I think it all started when.
you're right.
It's part of the job, and I think
Yeah.
that's what the show is really about. You know, they say like when
That's
you
what
lie
I
for a
love.
living,
Yes, exactly.
you lie for a living.
Exactly.
For the greater good. Necessary evils, man.
You know,
Isn't it ironic that everyone's talking about this whole thing where, oh, you got to be honest with everyone in Graceland, like, and Johnny's like, this is our home to go home to. We don't have families, so we have to be truthful with these people. And Briggs, who doesn't have really anyone in the house, who all want to be that to him, the one person that he can be truthful and is kind of his home to go to is Jake's.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is kind of
dope.
completely
Oh,
out of the blue, which we wouldn't have known aside from this episode. I think it all started with the chore wheel, though. Honestly, somebody must have been skipping a week with that.
It all started with the not sharing each other's orange juice.
yeah.
Jake's responsible.
How selfish.
Seriously,
You're right.
we can blame you for everything.
Jake's
I
can
can-
be blamed for
I can-
everything.
We can't share food now. Okay.
I can tell you.
I'm gonna go steal drugs. Then, if that's the
I'm gonna go
situation-
be Odin.
Yeah.
There you go.
If the finale comes out, Briggs being like, I did it because of James.
I did.
Blame it all on him.
Yeah.
So now this next scene we get why this episode was called Happy Ending. This is where we.
Oh, I don't think that's why.
There's no other reason than they're robbing a massage parlor that is thought to.
Fine.
So it looks
I
like
guess
Johnny's
it
not the
is.
only naive
Julie.
person in Graceland.
Oklahoma.
Well, you're right. Happy ending because
Happy
they were all
ending.
positive and jolly. And
Nobody
that's-
died in this episode.
Yeah, that's happy ending.
I thought it was about the ending, okay?
No, it was
Not
happy ending
necessarily
because
a-
of
Because
the
this
massage.
is where
Entendre.
Briggs gets caught up, and
Okay.
it's ironic because it's
It's a
not a happy
prostitution
ending.
massage parlor, basically.
So they hop in this red car, which isn't the car that they thought they were going to find, and he says, no, we're going to use this car until we can get to the actual car. Mike says, arrest him now. Briggs doesn't want to.
Well, yeah.
They go through with this robbery, which is pretty funny. There's all these Johns.
They did it so perfectly too.
I
like,
know.
easy, like cake.
Yeah. So they decide to rob this place because there's no cameras. People
lot
don't
of
want to
cash.
get
Yeah, it's all
arrested.
cash.
Yeah,
no
they don't want to
cameras,
get
yeah.
found there. Sort of like my accident today. Yeah, I hit a guy with no insurance. Neither of us wanted anybody to know about it. So,
Good.
Except
Works
for she's
both
caught
parties.
now.
Yeah, talk about it on podcast.
it's totally metaphorical. It didn't really happen.
And what was his name?
If you were to get in
Yeah.
an accident,
It's like if somebody were to do that
like a friend of yours.
on the
Something.
10 around 1 a.m.
What
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So they go in, they arrest it, and then Mike pulls the craziest move that he has. My favorite thing that he's done the entire season.
Snap.
Boom.
I don't really feel
right
sorry
there.
for Briggs, though, honestly.
I don't feel sorry for Briggs
After
either.
choking Mike out in the warehouse,
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah.
kind of owes him one.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Briggs. I thought that was just like crazy of Mike.
That's what I'm saying. Mike went hard this episode. We see him like grow some Briggs balls.
And Briggs had that great line. What's his line? You don't box with the champ. You knock him out, or something like that.
You don't play.
You don't dance with the champ. You knock him out.
Yeah, something like that. It's just talking about how you got to take him out. You don't let him get the chance to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You don't spar with him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he kind of went up to Briggs.
Yeah,
And
Briggs says
was
he
tough,
underestimated
yes,
him.
Exactly, which was cool. That was awesome because it's now that it's the end of the season. It's like, oh, Mike, you're growing up. He's like becoming a big boy. Like he knows what's up now.
Well,
He's getting it.
You can see Briggs being on equal ground with Mike when he goes back to the house in Graceland after that, and he's talking like, Mike's gonna be watching me this whole time, blah 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 blah. He doesn't view Mike as a rookie anymore.
No.
In any sense of the word. Sorry about
Your
that.
phone
Julie.
too.
Yeah,
No,
my
he's
phone's
like
water.
hyper aware now
Yeah.
of Mike and what Mike is capable of.
Well, the
Well, you
thing
can't
about it,
manipulate him anymore.
yeah. The thing about it is that like sometimes in television shows, you're like, just kill the bad guy. Just
Yeah.
kill the bad guy. Just kill the bad guy. And with these two characters, they were doing this dance of, oh, I trust you and you trust me when they neither did. And this was sort of the moment when he looked in his face, boom, I don't trust you anymore. We both know it. The jig is up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure this out.
Right.
If you're innocent, you're innocent. And there was a point in time whenever Briggs held up his sawed-off
Yeah,
shotgun.
he's like, if you're innocent,
Didn't
you better
shoot
kill
him.
me now. Which is again, you don't dance with the yeah.
So Briggs, I mean, it was cool of him. I didn't think he was going to kill Mike. He didn't even like shoot him in the foot or anything. He let him go, you know?
Well, no, because at that point, that's just no. Why would
been
you?
You're not
had.
gonna shoot.
Like he said, he
Mike.
had to get it. He was on his head was he had to get that head start. Audi 3000.
Yeah.
He sort of, he gave in
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
in that
he
moment.
surrendered.
Yeah.
He was like,
He
I've
was
been had.
handcuffed.
Yeah. So Jakes realizes what's happened, runs in there. Paige drives off without him. FBI!
You
right?
guys just lost the
Oh
race.
no, I'm a federal agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this was Amazing Race, you guys would have been
We got
eliminated.
duped, man.
Does it feel good to give that line though? I'm a federal agent. Like
It was so funny. I kept saying on the day when we shot it, I kept going in there saying FBI, but I'm not FBI. So I had to keep redoing it. 'Cause I was FBI. I'm like, shit, I'm not FBI. I have to like walk out.
Cut.
That's on the gag reel.
it's like South Park. Freeze!
Yeah.
I'm a cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So
You want to take it from here?
no, because I totally lost where we're going.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't
They
take
take
notes,
off.
Julie.
They go to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mike.
Then Mike does the freeze.
Then Mike does it.
I'm a cop.
No, he's like, really, you're trying to rob me? No, I'm an federal agent, idiot.
yeah,
Does he say
this.
idiot?
Yeah.
Does he?
Does he says
Idiot.
dummy or
I
idiot
like
or something?
idiot.
Yeah.
Sophie
She
dumbass. I just love the
threw
word
that
idiot.
in there.
Idiot. It would have been better.
She's like, I'm FBI, you idiot. They're like, cut,
Have the
Stephanie.
line, Stephanie.
So, moment of truth. They go up to the car, and there is this scene, which I thought was really beautifully cinematic, where Briggs is ripping. First, he's paying homage to this Buddha statue,
Which is
and then he
good.
starts ripping down this wall.
He punches.
Yes, which is crazy to me. It was a full-on wall. How long had that stuff been hidden in there?
That's good. That's like a set, just in case, man. Briggs is smart. I would have something in my wall.
It's a go bag.
Yeah.
It's a go
Get
bag.
out of town quick, bag.
Yeah.
You know.
You gotta have a go bag. It's got
And it-
money.
and it
It's got
doesn't
IDs.
necessarily
Do you
in it.
have
Yeah.
do you have an actual one in your apartment?
I have something similar.
For real?
Yeah, I have money and everything put aside. Yeah.
What kind of life is Steven living?
No, I mean, if
Why do you think he has to be on Graceland? Reminds me of his life.
if something happens and you need a plane ticket to go somewhere, it's more like for family and things like that. Like if someone's
Mine has, I do too. Mine has like 2 Kirkland waters, Kit Kat bars, and some money.
I don't take yours as serious.
That's called a lunchbox. Like, that's not a go bag. She's like, I got 2 Gatorades,
Steven has like, he
a
has
Kit
like
Kat and a Twix, because I like the most.
He has secret passports and stuff. He's like, in case of a family emergency.
I have Julie's ID, I have Stephanie's ID.
I don't have one of those. I don't have a go bag.
No,
Where am I going?
I have a purse.
Yeah.
I got a
just grab my
backpack.
purse.
I stay with my backpack.
I have like a gym bag with like old clothes in it. That's about it.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
you,
making it to Mexico.
No, I'm making it to LA Fitness. That's
You know
it.
what? She'd make it farther than you with those Kit Kats.
She would.
if you want to, Brandon, we can
stop.
film you punching through a wall and pulling your gym bag out and opening it and just having gym
Just
clothes.
gym clothes.
I gotta go to the gym.
Gotta go to the gym.
So how long has he been planning this? The entire time? No, not his getaway, but just had an escape the entire time.
It's called a go bag. Literally, like people.
Do you think all the other members of the house have a go bag?
I think
No, but even as
I
an
don't know.
undercover agent, who's to say that what if one of his jobs goes bad and he has to go?
But you have to think Briggs has been covering so much up for the last how many years?
And he's been Odin for a
He
minute.
must be ultra paranoid that
Yeah.
any
Exactly.
time
the fact he has a
needs
secret
to get, if
compartment.
he has to get out of town and
That's what I'm saying.
That's the second secret compartment that we've seen in Briggs.
He probably had a go
probably
bag
has another one
at the
somewhere
first
else.
estate too.
He probably put the go bag in before anyone else moved in. Honestly, like it's just one of those things. Like, of course, it's in a place nobody's ever gonna think to
The
try to
blocking
put
on the wall
something
was
in.
done really nice.
Exactly.
It just says
Good
a lot
job, set
about his
designers.
character.
he does, right?
It's that like he is paranoid. He is ready to leave at any second if stuff goes wrong.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to make a go bag.
a
A real one,
a
not the
go
Gatorade
bag.
one.
Oh my god.
So we see
Double up
them.
on candy bars.
We see them trying together as he's getting out the go bag, and the same time that Mike is opening the glove compartment. Open, no tape.
No tape.
And then I kept thinking
Bomb
that maybe
dropped.
I was like, oh, maybe Jake's already got to it at first, and then I was like, no, because how would that have happened? And then I don't know, that's weird, but that just pisses me off because it's like, what happened? So
Who
then Juan
got to the
buried with
tape?
it? Or Juan's not dead, maybe.
So do you want, let's take a look at this.
Whoa, no.
One's dead.
No, Juan's dead. Yeah.
There was a police
Let's take a
report.
look at this because Briggs would have taken care of the body. Duh, he's dead. Let's take a look at this as from a carrying this into next season. Briggs is not knowing whether or not he's guilty or not with the house. I'm gonna say there's just a few characters that could have taken. I'm gonna say Abby is a character that very well could have taken it. Just as a random like out there prediction. Honestly, I think that the person who's in charge of Juan probably took it because the whole investigation into Briggs is to prove that he's Odin, but at the same time, kind of just uproot him from the core to prove that he was the one working with Jangles, to prove all this, to prove everything about Briggs. It's not to prove that he killed a guy who approached him dressed as Odin. They find that tape, it incriminates Briggs. Yeah, they take Briggs down, but what are they taking him down for? They're taking him down for the murder of Juan. They're not taking him down for being Odin. They're not taking him down for the burning of 5 agents in the estate.
Yeah, maybe they want bigger bait.
They want him for what he's done. If he did do it, because apparently they think he burned the estate, they want him for that. They don't want him for killing an agent while under the influence of alcohol and probably getting involuntary manslaughter and only maybe spending a year in jail. I mean,
So probably the most likely scenario is not Abby. It's most likely
I was throwing Abby out there because I want to see her in the show again.
It's not Abby,
but it's most likely whoever.
it's most likely whoever was above Juan.
It's up the ladder.
It also could be Jangles.
That's what I was thinking, maybe. Or he could have
Maybe.
easily gotten anybody from the Federality to get it.
No, because Jangles doesn't know who Briggs is.
Hey, did Bello ever know anything about anything?
No, not enough. I'd say I was thinking Jangles for a second, but I was like, but Jangles wouldn't be trying to find out who Briggs is through Charlie if he already knew that Briggs was the person she's investigating.
Or maybe he was trying to find out because he only knows Briggs' voice and not
Well,
Briggs
Jangles
as the
does
person.
know Briggs, doesn't he?
Jangles-
tortured him in
Jangles
the
knows who
heroin.
Briggs is.
But he
But
doesn't
he
know that Briggs
doesn't
is an
know.
agent.
He doesn't know that Briggs is the one Charlie's talking about, saying that he might be Odin.
Right.
But still, you're right. He does know Briggs, so Jangles could be the one that wants to keep Briggs out of prison for that.
No, this is gonna.
If you wanted to kill him and jangle him up himself, you're right.
I don't think.
Or he could just like want him to be out there as a corrupt FBI agent.
I don't think we're gonna see
Well, wait,
the
let's
tape.
not do predictions.
I know, but this is still the storyline. That's
Oh,
why
right.
I'm saying it. Like, we're not gonna see the tape next episode. That's got to be whoever was controlling Juan, whoever really, really has it out for Briggs. Because that's the only way to keep Danielson Jada in the season. He's one of the stars of the show.
Or maybe Clayton has it.
No, I think
He's the guy.
it's going higher up the ladder, and
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
see a little bit higher up the ladder next season, dealing with what they're gonna try to get Briggs on.
That is a good one.
He had the car the whole time.
Wait,
Clayton, the guy who took the car.
Oh, that dude.
The donut
Yeah.
dude.
Do you really think he's smart enough though?
He could have
I don't
easily
know, he
checked it
seemed
just in
totally
case.
unaware.
Why are you gonna jack a car and not look around just in case you get caught up? If I was gonna jack a car, I gotta make sure that there's nothing
But
bad
he
in there.
knows it's a police car, right?
No, because the car was posted at the place by itself.
Yeah, I think the last thing, because the glove compartment was locked. Obviously, he broke a
Right.
window. He's not going to pick a lock on a glove
But if
compartment.
it's a police car, aren't they outfitted differently than normal cars, even the unmarked ones?
Mm-hmm.
So if you steal a Crown Vic that's an unmarked FBI
Yeah,
car,
at least their tags
you're
are
gonna
different.
if you're a car thief,
Right.
you're gonna know it's a marked car.
Yeah.
You would
So
think.
you wouldn't take
Of course.
it.
Whatever it is, it's out there, and you're right. It's
So you
it's
would
a good
know.
way to get
You
us
would
into
know
next
that
season.
there's a record because there's a recorder in every one of them.
It could be James.
Every cop car has
Clayton.
one of those things.
Wow.
So crazy.
So it could be next episode, or it could be the way into next season.
The entree.
Yeah, I just don't think
it
Briggs
could
is
be
going down for
leading us
that.
up into like the bigger evil.
It's too small of a thing to take down Briggs.
Okay.
Too
But it's
small.
a big thing. He
No,
killed
it's
an
not.
FBI agent.
That's a huge thing.
It's a huge thing.
That's a big thing.
It's making Briggs like break down. Right?
He's leaving the country probably now, or definitely, but
Well, he's getting out of the house, that's for damn
well,
sure.
that
And moving
is
into
just
Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So meanwhile,
yes. So let's move on. But we always love your feedback and your 5-star ratings on iTunes. We really appreciate that, and you guys have been such fantastic fans this season. Can't wait to rock it and roll it in the season finale next week.
yes.
Oh, man.
So let's go into Charlie and her new man. We see another cinematic moment where he's getting dressed, still bleeding from his shoulder. Jangles
Yes.
is, and
Sharpening
Charlie
his weapons
had these
and-
sexy back tattoos I didn't know about.
I love that
Yeah.
scene.
Such a
is.
sexy
Yeah.
back.
So nice.
They broke that up. He's like, yeah, sexy back. I'm talking about this scene. He's like, back. Back.
Well,
Charlie look good,
the
though.
comparison of how they both got ready. She gets ready for she has her toothbrush and her makeup, and he's
Yeah.
got his torture tools, polishing.
That was
For
crazy.
the same meeting. Like,
Yeah.
she's giddy about it. She's all excited. All right, I'm going to get a
His
drink out of
torture
this.
tools, her blush brush.
It was great.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Not that cool.
I know. So he's getting it. He's getting it together. He's gonna take all those terrible tools into his little skeezy hotel room. He's trying to bring her back there. So they go. They meet up for a drink, and Jangles, to me, does such a good job of coming off like a nerdy federale.
Except for he keeps saying, why? But why do you think this is going to happen? But why are you saying why when it's W?
I think he's good enough for a first
That's
impression,
a good question.
but I think he doesn't deal with people undercover enough because he just ends up killing them or torturing them to death after like 3 meetings.
Well, you know, besides the fact that he's federale, he's just probably your typical good old serial killer.
No, this is like the worst of the nastiest
You
serial
don't-
killer.
first-
He likes to cut people's bodies
Exactly,
up.
that's what I'm saying. He enjoys it. It has nothing to do with like covering anything up because you're not gonna have a gadget. He has those one spinny things like in LA 2000. You know where you take the eyeball out?
I
Like,
didn't know
he
that's
has-
what that was for.
Yeah, the
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Okay.
How do you know that?
in Escape
that
from
in your
LA.
go bag
Escape
as
from
well?
LA with Kurt Russell. No, wait, I already told you I was scrap. I already said, no, but
She's like, gotta pack my makeup, gotta pack my torture tools.
I know.
Kit
No,
Kat, Twix.
Butterfinger.
Scissors.
Okay. No, but in Escape to LA, I remember. I'm pretty sure that's the movie, but that's what the guy uses to get the eyeball out.
Oh, good.
Anyways, regardless, it's a torture tool, so he just enjoys it. He's a freak. He's a weirdo.
But I'm saying, for some reason, I don't feel scared. I don't feel like he's evil. He's the complete opposite evil villain as Bello. Because Bello, at all times, seemed like terrifying and like he's got it together. Jangles, to me, still seems nerdy.
What
That's the
creeps me
scary
out?
part.
What creeps
Yeah.
me out about Jangles
I agree
is
with you.
how normal he is. In that Bello, he's the mastermind because he's the guy at the top. He's killed to get himself to the top.
But Bello's
With-
more interested in money.
Well, yeah, but Jangles, I mean, there's a simple little thing that the actor added. And I don't know if it was direction or the actor, but at the end of this scene where he's preparing for himself, he's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
and he very well could have just looked up and then walked away.
Do it again.
But at the same time, if he looked up and walked away, it would have had that I'm the silent maniacal killer.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
fact that he did that, it was like
Relax.
just
chill
another
out.
Yeah.
another day at the office.
Well, you know, they say
Torturing
like
people.
a lot of the serial killers are like very charming. And
Exactly.
how
That's the
they
ones you have
get
to take care.
people.
Yeah. That you be careful with your neighbors. They may be the nicest person in the world, but you don't know them.
So have a go bag.
I know.
have a
I'm
go
not,
Have a go bag.
I'm not saying he's charming. I'm saying he's like nerdy and creepy.
Yeah.
But that's the
and-
point. But it's always the nerdy ones. Look at the Lovely Bones. Remember that creepy old
Gosh,
nerdy guy
that
who was
was
like, "Oh, I like to
awful.
make houses."
Dexter.
Remember
Dexter's
the Trinity
nerdy guy.
killer?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Ooh.
why you got to be careful with those. The gangster's just trying to be a gangster and get money.
So they meet up together.
Sorry. I mean,
Word.
excuse me. I mean, a gangster is just trying to be a gangster
So-
and get
How long have you
money.
lived here?
I know.
Alright.
So we have the last member of the house, Johnny, who's sort of just doing his own thing for the last few episodes. Strippers, bounce houses,
King's
ghetto
Castle.
scramble. different
Getting
shaped
knocked out by
pancakes.
Jake.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta clear the air on this before we move on. Sorry. Did you guys get to jump around the bounce house with the strippers?
I didn't. I wasn't there. By the time I got there,
You weren't even there.
No,
it
but
was
even
already-
like just for fun, just like
No, because I don't want to be that guy. Who's like, oh, when are you guys shooting the stripper scene with the bounce house? Oh, I'm not working that day? What time? After lunch? I don't want to, so I didn't.
That makes sense.
Did Johnny know
my
he's
guy.
does Manny have
call.
some pretty good stories?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had fun shooting it, but I like, oh, Brandon, are you working today? No. I don't want to be that guy, so I didn't.
No, that's probably a good professional move
Yeah,
and
I thought
decision
so.
on your part.
Thought so.
But Johnny, of course, is trying to like mend together this king's castle that Charlie sapped.
He doesn't want to pay the.
The deposit.
Yeah.
Charlie calls him out. You have not helped me. She's like, nobody's helped me. What are you doing, Johnny?
he's like, I'm trying to repair this. I don't want to pay the deposit.
I
Yes.
also think Johnny doesn't want to like.
He doesn't want to find anything
He
out.
just wants to
He's
kind of
in
like
denial.
be in his happy place.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of scared to sort of really face what might be going on, you know. So he's just like, I'm just gonna like make.
Because he does love these people, so it's just it's unfortunate that it's gonna get all twisted and now, and also he doesn't want to become bitter. He's gonna become like everyone who can't trust anybody, and he's gonna be a skeptic when he likes his positiveness and
Yeah.
optimism.
He likes his friends. He likes the people he considers his family. He doesn't want it to change. I think he's
Not
probably been
anymore.
avoiding this.
Yeah.
Do you love the dramatic irony of the scenes where people save other people's lives just with a phone call and only you know, but they don't?
Like when?
Like
when
when
he calls
Charlie's-
Charlie right
Charlie
before
is-
she
yeah.
enters the apartment.
Steps from walking into that hotel room. And Johnny finally decided to help, has some new information.
Yeah, I go, hey man, Quinn just popped up back on the radar right as Jangles is about to lead her into her apartment to give her all the information he knows, when really he was going to torture her for everything she knows.
But
Oh,
then
man.
Johnny inserted himself in her little thing, which was cool. of
Good.
him.
That was
Because
yeah, that
he's
was
the
cool.
business. I love him.
So their second meeting, Johnny shows up. He's been following her,
Right?
and
That was
immediately he's
awesome.
like, "Federale."
I love how he acts. Oh, I love it.
So is it just general knowledge that the U.S. system doesn't think that the Federale is trustworthy?
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's that like they're
didn't know.
it's common
And he
knowledge
says,
that
he's
they
like,
take
it's
bribes
not that
and
you're
things like
Mexican,
that.
it's just I don't trust your type of Mexican.
Yeah. The Federale doesn't have the greatest reputation.
They're in the cartel's pocket.
It's no mercy over there.
Yeah.
Like this is straight up. They have deals where they will look the other way while cars are like people are taken
Look,
out of the cars at gunpoint.
I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
strife between the agencies in the U.S. So like,
Yeah.
FBI and CIA don't get along. Never mind.
well, plus
You know,
from
the Federale, they're not
from
friends.
Johnny's point of view, though, I mean, look at it. Charlie's kind of she's very destructive right now. She took the heroin, like she's kind of freaking out. She stabbed the bounce house. He knows that she's agitated, but when she starts disappearing, making these meetings with someone,
Yep.
and then it's a Federale. What the hell's a Federale doing up in where we
The
are right now?
investigation and everything.
And why is he interested in what's going on with us right now?
And why are
Nobody's
you,
helping
Charlie,
me.
trusting him only?
and not telling anybody about it.
Because
Exactly.
everything's getting twisted.
Yeah.
Loose ends everywhere now.
So
not
Johnny, she's like,
focusing.
"Are you in or you out?" He says out. So she goes to meet Quinn with again nerdy Jangles standing there all awkward.
He looked so out of place with that
He
shirt
was-
on.
He just like he couldn't have pulled off a better partner. He was really like this.
I think he was thinking, I can kill everyone in this room right now.
Yeah.
So they go over to meet Quinn. They all take a step out so that Quinn and Charlie could talk by themselves.
And then Quinn's nasty.
I love the line though when Quinn's like, I don't want to do that. I don't end up on Jangles' radar. I don't think Jangles would have you on his
Oh, I
radar.
know.
You're
I
like,
love that part too. He's like, I'm not worried about you, fool. I'm worried about somebody else.
exactly.
So how would you tell us about what happens between?
Quinn and Charlie. That okay, so Quinn comes up to her and
Don't
I
beat me up
hate
in the
it.
process.
I know, right?
I was
She got so jazzed up during the
This
scene.
is so because first of all, Quinn is a scumbag. Like, how are you trying to get with a junkie? Are you serious? And she looks like one when she dresses like it.
Yeah,
Like,
she just dresses
her
down
shirt was
well.
dirty on her collar. Like, ew, what were you doing? Anyway, so he tries to get on her, and then she gets pissed. Bam, knocks him out. They start fighting. He fights her back, and she does another good one. Breaks the glass that's like this, and she just pounds in because she keeps thinking about Whistler.
He's literally flashing in her head
She's
as she's kicking the crap out of him.
She's a champ. It was so good. I'm okay, Johnny. I was like, yeah, I know you are.
And she's like, I'll handle this by myself. And Johnny's like, ooh.
That's my favorite when you did remember the other?
Yeah.
I love when she uses the mic to do a chokehold. Yeah.
She's like, this is for Whistler.
So this scene gave us a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen on the finale a little bit. And because Charlie has Johnny involved so much right now, she's kind of off limits to Jangles because another agent knows about him now. But Quinn, however, is not in a very good position right now because Jangles now knows that he has Odin's number.
Okay.
So Quinn is bound for a table next episode.
Ew. Maybe some eye socket
Briggs'
tools.
phone is going to be ring-a-ding-a-dinging.
Some pretty terrible
Yes.
things are going to happen. to
And I
Quinn.
hate it too because I can't help but think that what if Odin wasn't, I know that we found out that he was Briggs, but what if Odin wasn't and he just took that just to came up on some drugs and
Yeah, there
or maybe
could be a real Odin.
like there could be a real Odin, like maybe Odin was already caught, but then Briggs needed this little transaction for a specific reason. Like, I'm not that worried about this guy, so let me just take over until I'm ready to end it. Because what do you mean you're Odin? I don't know.
I would say
Exactly.
if there's any, if that would be the case, I would say that Odin was somebody who Briggs took down,
Well-
and was somebody who was so undercover that they didn't know that when Odin was arrested, nobody knew it was Odin when he was arrested, and Briggs took over his operation.
The reason why I say this is because who were they supposed to meet when Johnny ruined it because he said, no, I don't trust valet that I don't know? Who was Quinn bringing that day? Because he was supposed to bring Odin. Briggs?
What day?
Briggs called it off.
I remember that.
Remember? Like, Quinn did because he didn't know Johnny. He's like, what? He's like, oh, you don't.
Yeah, Johnny was the new valet guy. And
So then
Oh,
he didn't
right.
remember
Yep.
Quinn was like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know who you are. I'm out. And then Charlie and Briggs were left in the hotel.
In the hotel.
Yeah, and they were just like hooking up or whatever, but
I think that could have just taken a hint from Briggs, like, hey, look out for something suspicious. Like if Odin told Quinn, I don't know. I really think Briggs is just Odin.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
at
he's
this point. I
definitely
don't
him.
think the writing would make sense to make him not Odin.
Yeah.
I wish that he can come back.
I wish we could
Well-
ask Joe. Come on, Joe Henderson. We miss you here, man.
Joe.
Well, before
It's okay,
we,
Joe. We'll see you next time.
Before we get to what happens in the season finale, I have a follow-up question for you. Last time you were here, you said you had a favorite scene, but you couldn't tell us what it was, and you said, ask me next time.
Oh, it was probably the fight scene with Johnny.
Really? That's your favorite scene to
Yeah, because
film?
you had to knock out Manny. That was tight.
I mean, it was just so high.
Yeah, you had to get into it and
You
everything.
guys have to practice your fight?
No, not really, because we didn't really.
Did
we
you
just
actually hit
kinda
him or no?
struggled. No.
Do you know anything about television?
Am I violent? Is that what that means?
You are a little violent. I'm learning this about you.
Did you actually hit him? Not on camera.
No. That, and you know what? And the drunk scene with.
Totally.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Live television, folks.
Oh.
Live TV. What is it?
It's just a bug.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
you got the paper towels next to you. Kill
I
it.
thought it was a wasp. Ah!
Wow. This guy's
Wow.
Everyone better tell their friends, tell your mama,
Live
tell your
TV.
daddy, watch the show.
That's awesome. Yay.
Wow.
Good job, Steven.
Way to steal the show, you terrible mystery bug.
I saw it on the wall over there.
I
earlier.
just,
didn't say
I just
anything.
want to say that you really scared me right now, and I'm so happy. I was like, keep your composure, keep your
So people,
composure.
podcasters listening, a bug just flew over the room into my mic, and I put it outside.
It wasn't no fly though. This was a giant.
It wasn't
It was like a
let's
spider.
get back on the show.
Anyway,
We got to wrap up soon,
yes.
guys.
But that and the drunk scene with Cassandra, I really enjoyed.
That was so sad. And she said, no, like never, like don't come back. No.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So, assuming,
Yeah.
and nobody knows yet that there's a season 2,
Mm-hmm.
what character developments do you look forward to seeing for Jake's?
I mean, I don't know what they have planned.
Where would you like to see it go?
I would like for the favor that he owes Briggs to be explained. I really want to see
The
what
background
that
story to
is.
come out.
Actually, I kind of do know a little bit.
Okay.
But I really
He's like,
want to
"Let's
go
film
into
it."
that. because I feel like in season 2, even more like darker layers are going to be exposed, and like there's still so much about these characters that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I think you're starting to see that a little bit even in this episode, right? Like it's they're getting at it, and I would like it to be revealed more in season 2.
Who did you have most of your scenes with during the season?
I don't know.
Do you think you got particularly close to any one of your like castmates?
Personally, you mean?
I mean, kind of just
Or,
whoever you
Like
feel
chilling
like you might have worked.
outside of set.
Well, no, but like just anyone that you kind of had to go like work with the most, I guess.
I mean, Manny and I worked a lot together. I feel like,
okay.
Yeah, like Vanessa and I didn't really work much together
And then you and Daniel either.
until
Right?
the last.
Right, yeah.
ones.
Yeah, but that was such a treat when we did finally get to come together.
Right.
Because you really kind of feel it after a while. We were like, we haven't had a scene yet together.
Yeah.
It's like episode 8.
Yeah.
And we're like, we haven't done anything together. So that was a real treat. And Mike and Jakes don't really have a lot of stuff together either. They kind of just avoid one another. So,
You just called them Levi's, and that's it.
Yeah, and I just leave. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's so many places to go with the show.
So I have a question
So
for
exciting.
you guys, and you guys.
Uh-oh.
Depending what happens in this next episode, if it all ends up good or not, do you think the house can ever be what it once was, a sanctuary and a family?
Yes, reconciliation.
I don't know if it ever was.
No?
I think we're going to see somebody die, and I think we're going to see somebody leave the house. And I think next episode is going to be trying to salvage what's left of the house and putting it back together. And then as well as Briggs
so
and the
pissed.
fallback of the ladder up top, seeing what's going on. But I think Mike and Briggs are going to be a little bit less tight next season. Because they were tight this whole season until like last episode.
But they were and they weren't. Because Mike was still investigating him the whole time.
But he told him. The moment he told him, he chose him over his investigation.
Well, no, but he did that for his own benefit. Because
Yeah.
he said he wanted to see his reaction. When
Hiding
he
in
told
plain
him.
sight,
Yeah.
like I'm investigating you so you know.
Should we-
And then he's like, cool. And then he keeps investigating.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you guys have spoken about, or like who would you want to see on the show? Like any guest people, or has there been talk of anybody like kind of big coming on to guest star or whatever?
Not that I know of.
No.
I mean, there's so many great actors.
Right,
out
no, of
there, I
course.
Plus, from what I've read about USA, is that they love to take unknown actors and turn them into these really fleshed out, dimensional characters.
That's sick.
Are you being sarcastic?
I'm being 100%
okay.
serious.
I couldn't tell.
I mean,
okay.
so serious.
Oh, where did you read that? That's interesting.
I was just reading an article about characters welcome.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't like to make shows around stars. They like to turn main characters into stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
dope.
think that's a good blueprint.
It's a good philosophy. I love
Yeah.
it, especially when it comes to television. You can develop a 10-year relationship with this character, you know?
Mhm, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Shall we move into predictions?
absolutely.
do
There's
it.
so many. Who wants to go first?
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Steven.
I'll throw some random stuff out there. Make
First,
you think.
let's say what we know for sure what's going to happen from the preview.
Yeah.
Charlie's
Okay.
going to approach Bengals, and he's going to put a knife to her throat.
Done. And
Johnny's breaking down because he is figuring everything out and now knows what is suspected.
and Briggs isn't gone. He doesn't like flee to Mexico or something. He's around the entire episode, and everybody found out about everything. All the cards are thrown on the table. No more secrets.
I think that they're either gonna team up, like either one for all for one, or the Three Musketeers saying,
Right.
or it's just like stuff is gonna hit the fan because it's just gonna be dramatic, and it'll probably end with like no resolve, nothing resolved, like just a big climax, and then that's it.
No, I'll be so mad. Couldn't have like that. Do you want to go?
I think we haven't seen the last of Bello. I think that if anyone is going to have a tail on Briggs to have seen him kill Juan Medillo, it would have been one of Bello's men who could use the tape. And I can just imagine the conversation between Mike and Bello saying, how does it feel to know that the person you trusted most betrayed you, and something like that. I can definitely see that playing with Bello's relationship with Mike, comparing it to Mike's relationship with Briggs. I'm going to say that they're not going to try to pin this murder on Briggs just because they want him for bigger things. And
Maybe Briggs goes to Bill and asks for help.
Who do you think dies, Steven?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Paige might. I'm not sure. I think Charlie might die.
Oh no, not Charlie.
I love Charlie, but like as her character, she's gone through such an arc this season that I'm not sure, because she's gone for a full circle in a way. There's not really, they don't have time to open up a new arc for her next season. So if she dies, that might be the thing that pulls the house. She's the mother of the house. If she dies, she's the thread that unravels the entire house, and that's what would make it rebuild it next season.
Maybe someone will just get hurt really badly.
And she's the only one who's really gunning for Briggs. Aside from Mike, she's the only one who... Mike will understand maybe
She
if they
just doesn't
find
want
out.
to get played.
I actually, at the beginning of the season, thought that a character was going to die. I thought it was going to be Jake's. I think all 6 characters are going to survive.
Yeah,
I do
so too. They better.
I think so.
I'm not
I do
finished
think
with them
people
yet.
are dying. Probably like the drug people and hopefully Jangles.
The drug people.
I predict all 6 will survive.
I love how dark this show is as it is now, and I think USA will really want it to push the envelope as to how dark they can have a show on it. And this was more just like the little wedge in the door to burst it open with how much content this show can have in a show of this premise. I really think Charlie's going to be the one. And I think next season they really have to have something dark like rebuilding the house and kind of really digging out these characters and how they'll react to such a huge griefing moment. Because right now we've only seen that with maybe the characters in the beginning. They're gone already after 3 episodes. And then your character with Cassidy, but nothing that has really blown my mind with, oh my God, they're dealing with something terrible.
Well, you guys at home, let us know what you think. We cannot wait till the season finale next week.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Brandon Jay
Thank you
McLaren.
guys.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
Where can we find you?
On Twitter at Brando J BRANDOJAY, and that's it.
All right, our
Yeah.
favorite guest of all time. I'm
Yes.
Julie Partin. You can find me on Twitter at JULIEPARTIN.
I'm Stephanie Giorgi, and you can find me at Stephanie Giorgi, GIORGI.
And I'm Stephen Lemieux. You can find me here doing the finale for the Dexter in a few weeks, as well as the finale for Graceland next week. Oh, how's it going to end, guys?
And that's it.
Man, we will see you guys then.
See ya.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.